We're gonna go visit a community, golf course community, Winchester in Meadow Vista. This is a place where all the big shots of Auburn live. And the developer of Winchester Golf Course Community is C.C. Myers, and he still lives there. He's got this nice house on the hill. I think it's about 8,000 square foot house. Don Whitaker with Ceronics lives over there, and a whole bunch of other people in Auburn. It's a few exits past downtown Auburn. It has a feel like you're in the mountains already because of the pine trees. And now there's this development that, I mean, this whole development was developed and it was sold in phases. And now there's a whole other phase of lots that are for sale right now. So they just released about 12 more lots. When that development in Winchester, when they started, the houses that were built there were built in the years starting like 2004, 2005. So now some of the newer homes there are completely different in design. You'll see some Spanish style, some Mediterranean, Italian style homes. And then you'll see some very modern homes.
Okay, so Paul says he kind of likes this house even though it's modern. Why do you think you like it? I mean, your house is modern.
Yeah, well, I like the fact that there's like the colors,
Okay.
the contrast. The golf course clubhouse there, people do weddings and other events, and I heard that that thing is booked. Like if you want to have a wedding in Winchester, like you're gonna have to book it in like almost a year in advance.
So this is a Winchester community.
Yep. These are like $2 million, $3 million homes here in this area. This is kind of an older part. These homes were built back in 2005, 2006. And then there are some homes that are newer. So I think right now there's still about 16 lots here that are available. There's one part of this community that is still gated, and they haven't opened it yet, and those lots are not improved yet, so they're not selling yet. But I've heard that soon they're going to be for sale because there's one investor who is trying to buy all of them as a package deal.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot right here. There's another lot for sale here. The one thing that I don't really like about this area is all the pine needles.
Oh.
This drives me nuts. Like look at well, this is where we got married.
We're here on this road?
We were walking actually down this road and taking pictures. And the developer that lives here, he lives in a house where he gets both the west and the east views.
Does this place have a HOA or?
Oh yes.
Yeah?
There is an HOA, yeah, absolutely. They want to make sure that it's maintained, kept. Nobody comes here and just does something stupid, build some cheap houses. Although they do have a little section here where they allowed for like smaller homes to be built.
Oh, there's a construction site.
Yep.
So that's the clubhouse, yeah?
Yes, this is the clubhouse. So we're in the Winchester clubhouse. It's one of the best clubhouses here in this area. And let's go take a look inside and see. Look at that. People just hanging out here. You don't have to play golf to hang out here. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Imagine when all of this was just trees. This guy had a vision. He already saw this. That's the difference between someone who has a vision and can see something that is not there yet.
So what do you think that guy on the scale, where was he?
Where was he?
Past 200?
Hey, in order to see this when it's not there, you have to be way past 200. You gotta calibrate somewhere around 450 and up, I think. I need to study that graphic so that I know exactly what number, what emotion. There's this interesting book called Power versus Force. In the force category, it's anything from 0 to 100. 200, sorry, 200. At the level of 200 is when courage happens. And after that, it's higher and higher and higher. Very interesting table that I can show you that shows these different levels and what they calibrate at. Bro, just being aware of that alone can change somebody's life. Just being aware of that. This place opens like as a bar and restaurant, and then it's for the wedding. Whenever they have weddings. So, for example, when there's a wedding here, the people that golf, the people that live here, they don't hang out here. They go down there on the lower level. So see, you got a lower deck here with the lights.
Pretty much this clubhouse is just a big venue, right, for events?
Yes.
Also, you said it's a restaurant at certain times?
Yes, it's a restaurant and a bar. Most of the houses here are 5,000-6,000 square feet, very big homes. And the people that lived here from the very beginning, they loved the neighborhood, they loved the area, but these houses are becoming really big for them. So some of these people, they are selling these big houses and buying these smaller houses in the same community. So they want to remain in the area, they just don't need a big house. So that's why those lots are much smaller and they're building smaller homes here. So you got a new house over here that looks like it's almost done. I mean, I know a guy who's an architect who designed some of these homes, but he designed these homes earlier in the first phase. But then you got these homes that are already built after. So like this one right here, this is something that is built like recently. Honestly, like not really a huge fan of this kind of design.
This looks like a smaller home too, yeah?
No, this is a big house. Look, all of those walls are not up yet. This is the garage part, and then this is going to be the rest. This is actually a pretty big house. So right now, if someone was to be building in Tahoe or Truckee, and you got like the first snowstorm, you can't do much, right?
Yeah, if you're not at a certain stage where they want you to be, I forgot which stage it is, but if you're not, you can't build until the season opens back up.
Oh, wow. That's what I was gonna say, like this is the beautiful thing about this part of California. You can build during winter time, whenever, any time. Like as soon as it stops raining, like if the guys can be actually out here right now putting these walls up. The only thing is, like, you see that there's a low spot here. Water reveals all the flaws in construction. If you have something that's uneven, water is going to reveal it. If you're going to have a problem with the plumbing, water is going to reveal it.
The people that will do the flooring are going to have to level that out.
Yeah. If they do it right, they'll have to level it out for sure.
You used to lay floors, so tell me the assessment over here.
Bro, we always leveled out floors. We would take an 8-foot metal straight edge and you lay it on the ground. And if it moves at least a 1/4 inch, we would level it out so that there's no movement. But most of the guys I know who do floors right now, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch would be acceptable on a span of 8 feet. For us, no, that thing was not acceptable. So,
well, you know, some of these homes, the more expensive homes, some people want like 4-foot tiles. So you can't have any bumps or dips with tile that size.
absolutely. But you know what? Most tile installers, they adjust it with the thickness of the thin set they put. So they use a trowel that gives them like a 1/2 inch or even more, 5/8 of mud, and then they play with it, right? So they can have. So that's usually how they do it. So even for tile guys, they don't really have to even the floor out. For hardwood, that's like glue down or even loose lay flooring, you really have to make sure that it's even. Okay, so if I'm understanding this correctly, this is the main entrance right here. This is where the main door is going to be. So you walk in, you've got your kitchens right there because the plumbing is over there. This is probably either a formal or a dining area. And then the great room is over here with the patio out there. So this is a bedroom, closet, bathroom. What is it? Okay, so I'm thinking this is probably the master here. So this is the master. Yep.
This looks like enough flat space to have a small garden.
You just gotta put a tall fence around it so that the deer don't come through and eat all your vegetables and fruits. So this is the master bath. But you see the difference like in Auburn and here, like look, you look at it and it's like, it's all pines.
Yeah.
At least they didn't have to deal with arborist restrictions, oaks and all that.